This is Trinidad the Island Man, your Island Man, coming to you live once again from beautiful Oahu here in Hawaii, bringing you, yes you, the best movie reviews on the entire island of Oahu. And yes, this is Trinidad the Island Man, your Island Man. And last night, Sunday night, I went ahead and I had the privilege and the honor to see a wonderful Indian foreign movie called Padmavati. And remember our rating scale? Shaka thumbs up, it's good to see. I recommend it. Shaka thumbs down, it's bad to see, it's junk. I don't recommend it. And for Padmavati, it is a strong Shaka thumbs up. Well, let me go ahead and first tell you that this movie opened up on Friday. I wanted to go ahead and see it then. But, you know, due to the length of it, I had missed the earlier showings and I didn't want to see it late because it is a 2-hour and 44-minute movie, almost 3 hours. Much as many Indian movies are, you know, they do run long very much in the, you know, in the respect of old American films, say like Gone with the Wind, you know, all those older movies back, you know, prior to the 70s where they were much longer and you actually got an intermission. Now this movie did not have an intermission. I feel, I saw it over at Dole Regal Cinema, which maybe they cut out the intermission just to get more screen times in. But as it is, you know, I saw the 8 o'clock movie, which went well into close to 11 o'clock. So, and there were several other people there, so it is doing very well. It made $4 million at the American box office on opening weekend, which got it into the top 10 of opening movies for this week, you know, for this last weekend, which is astonishing and incredible for an Indian foreign movie. So that right there should tell you that it is a good movie. And again, I do give Padmavati a strong Shaka thumbs up. You've seen the trailer. Unfortunately, I could not find an American translated version of the trailer for some silly reason. It is a subtitled movie, so there you go. You know, so you will be able to understand it by reading all the subtitles. And, you know, let me just say that if you enjoyed The Greatest Showman, if you love musicals, if you have not experienced a Bollywood-type movie, this is, again, from India, and thus it encompasses all of that. You know, singing, dancing, but it is not the core thrust of the movie. What this is, basically, is the Indian tale of, you know, the Trojan War, of Helen of Troy, almost. That is the best thing I can compare it to. Movie-wise interpretation would be Troy that came out in the early 2000s, I believe, starring Eric Bana and Brad Pitt, both fighting, you know, over a woman they love, you know, one to defend her honor, one to obtain her, you know, as the Greeks siege the city of Troy. This is very similar in this. That is set in 14th century India, where a Chawari, Chittor kingdom, northwest India, where Queen Padmavati is renowned for her great, brilliant beauty, played by Deepaktar Padon, and this movie also stars Ratan Singh and let me see, who was the last guy? Something Kapoor. And well, you know, basically these two kings, one who is married to the queen, and the other, you know, an upstart who stole the throne from the sultan in Delhi, you know, who had conquered it from Afghanistan, and thus is more of a Muslim, you know, archetype in this movie, goes and wants to steal away Queen Padmavati from, the Mewar king there in Chittor. And so sends all of his troops up north to invade the city, which is very well guarded by a fabulous walls, defense system, and thus he is stalemated out there for many, many months, almost an entire year, until by trickery and means he is able to defeat the king and thus force the hand of getting Queen Padmaavat. Now, this is a very simplified version, what I'm explaining from the trailer, from the movie. But again, like I said, as a Western person, the best thing I can compare this to that might instill some desire of you to see this movie, other than the brilliant costuming, the beautiful music and songs, which, are not forefront in this movie, but definitely a strong part of it. There are several dancing scenes, which are exquisite, as in most Bollywood productions. But mainly this is a war for the hand of a woman, a beautiful queen, against two strong, formidable foes. Which, again, like I say, Eric Bana and Brad Pitt best symbolize. There's even a solo fight duel between the two, very similar to those two characters from Troy, duking it out in front of the walls of their citadels. So again, it is a beautiful movie. It is a long movie, but well worth the price. And it was in 3D. No, I don't understand. It is only being shown in 3D. It is beautiful. The 3D is very good. But unfortunately, I think because the cost of that will keep many people away, and thus is not eligible for the $6 on Tuesday over there at Regal at Dole Cinema, Dole Cannery Theater, unfortunately. So that will hurt it. But if you have the money, $16, to see this 3D film, that was at nighttime, I definitely recommend it. A strong shock of thumbs up. You can't go wrong with this movie. Again, especially if you like musicals, if you like beautiful costuming, and enjoy foreign movies, and haven't experienced a Bollywood movie, definitely spend the extra money and check it out. Again, I don't understand why it is only being shown in 3D, but that's the artistic choice, I guess, the directors and the producers made for this film. It really didn't need it. There are many scenes that stand out and pop. Being a war movie, they do bring a lot of, some of the battles straight into your face at times. Somebody's reaching out, poking their spear here and there. But it is not entirely or primarily, a spectacle in that nature. Just a beautiful feast for the eyes and ears, and especially, something to take your date to who might enjoy love stories, especially one of, obsession, one of passion, such as, like I said, Helen of Troy, which this is very similar. So yes, strong shock of thumbs up for Padmavati, the Indian film, being only shown at Dole, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere else because it is being shown in 3D there. So just go ahead and check it out when you can. Look for it on Netflix or Amazon. I think this was one of the producers were Amazon, so it'll probably show up over there in the next few months, in 2D, converted for your TV at home. But you can't go wrong with this movie. Definitely check it out. If you are a person who enjoys controversy, this movie did instill a great uprising in India during this weekend for its premiere, basically because the foe, the Sultan from Delhi that took over from Afghanistan, is, portrayed as, a Muslim. Now this is an entirely fictional story based on a poem, an Indian poem, but I can't help but feel it might have been influenced a little bit by Greek history and the story of Helen of Troy. I have nothing to back up that claim, but it certainly feels beat for beat very similar of a story. But most stories, you can pull this and that from as well. So again, because of against the Muslim nature of the evil king trying to steal away the beautiful queen from a Hindu king from his kingdom, there is a little bit of a tension and clash on the religious levels in India about this, and some other places throughout the world, but nothing that I feel that you need to worry about here. And they say it's a great, it's conveying, looseness towards women, from Muslims or something like that. There is no nudity in this movie. It is war, there is violence, there is some bloodshed, but in Western standards, Western Hollywood films, it is very subtle and very light. And women will enjoy this movie because you get to see men, bare-chested, muscles, duking it out, prancing around for the queen. But, as it is Hindu setting, she is fully clothed and there is no hanky-panky of that sort. Just slightly, especially by Western standards, implied. So, again, this is a good, wholesome movie in that respect. It does deal with issues, again, very similar to war and Helen of Troy, the Greek versus the Trojan, is the best comparisons I can make. So, don't be gun-shy to stay away from this movie, even though you may be, pocketbook shy, because it is 3D and not eligible for the $6 on Tuesday at Dole. But when you can, on Amazon, Netflix, wherever it ends up, iTunes, check out this movie. You and your girlfriend, you and your wife, it's a lot of fun, and, you'll enjoy it a lot. Again, shaka thumbs up for Padmavati. This is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man, saying aloha.